Dark clouds overshadowing the Friday night festivities, but it certainly won't stop us from the football frenzy. This is a live look at East Nashville High School, the home of the Eagles and the home of our game of the week. I'm Jill Jelnick. Welcome into Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. Now this week, I'll be right here, safe and dry in the studio, but don't worry, we'll make sure to get you geared up for game day. Plus, our meteorologist, Brett Luna, will join us later in the show, give us the latest on the weather across the mid-state and how it could impact kickoff tonight. So a lot to get to over the next half hour. First, let's start with some Thursday night lights. Davidson Academy Bears and BGA Wildcats moving up their game to last night, and this one was all Wildcats from start to finish. First quarter, fourth down for BGA. Quarterback Caden Marble finds receiver Locke Kennedy. Kennedy makes the guy miss and stumbles in for the touchdown. Wildcats up 7-0. BGA ball again, this time the dart to Fletcher Fields. Fields runs it in for another touchdown, make that 13-0 BGA. And Fields, well, he was having a field day last night. Rushes in his second touchdown of the game, extending the BGA lead 20-0. Wildcats running wild, including right here. Take a look at this play. Christian Walker takes this one all the way to the house, 84-yard touchdown. BGA goes on to win 34-7. Our game of the week this week features two rivals just down the road from one another, the East Nashville Eagles and the Maplewood Panthers. Both teams opening up Region 5-3A play tonight, and both teams hoping to start out on the right foot. Now, East Nashville comes into tonight undefeated at 3-0 and also riding a 10-game winning streak at home dating back to last season. The Eagles have dominated here in the mid-state the last several years and have made the 3A state title game the last three straight seasons. Unfortunately, they've fallen to Alcoa Tornadoes in each of those championship games, and they're determined to get back. The good news is Eagles have 10 seniors on the team that have played in all three of those title games. They know what it takes to not only get back to the Blue Cross Bowl, but also what it takes to get over that hump.
We got to be different. I feel like for all the years that we went, like we've tried to switch things up, and it always turned out, you know what I'm saying, being the same result. So I feel like this year we definitely got to do a lot of different things in order to bring that gold ball back.
We've been able to, we had some younger guys that got a lot of playing time last year, sophomores, and they picked it up a lot as juniors this year. And the senior class, they've actually been to the state, I think, every year since they was a freshman. So they're doing a great job of being leaders, and they know what it takes to try to get back to the state championship game.
East Nashville is led by senior quarterback Martez Lamb, who has started the last 15 games for the Eagles. Last week, he helped the Eagles defeat John Overton 49-7 and used both his wheels and his arm, running for 3 touchdowns and throwing for another 2. He says his confidence has grown each year as a starter, and he wants to make sure he continues to improve every aspect of his game in his final year.
Definitely want to improve on consistency. I want to be great and also like stay great. I don't want to have any slip-ups.
I think his football IQ has improved tremendously from last year. Starting 15 games, I think that helps a lot. He's more of a leader. He's been a little more vocal this year. Last year he kind of took the backseat role, but now he's trying to lead this team.
I'll have much more on our game of the week, including East Nashville's opponent, coming up in just a bit.
And I'm jumping the gun again. Here you go.
Brett, welcome back to our at Football Frenzy Live. Obviously, the weather has been a big storyline tonight, and want to check in with you and see what it's looking like for these football games across the mid-state.
Jill, we are still seeing a few of these scattered showers. Just a couple of thunderstorms. A lot of areas, though, are still dry right now. This is a radar loop from over the past few hours, and you can see just very scattered activity, and that's still what we're dealing with. Coming up here a little bit later on in the show, I'll show you exactly where some of these heavier pockets of rainfall are. But again, a lot of areas dry, especially to the east of Interstate 65 and if you're south of Interstate 40. Right here around parts of Davidson County, just a couple of isolated showers. And then down here in our more southwestern areas, just some slightly more widespread rainfall down there. Not Not really seeing much lightning, though, with any of these storm or showers that are right here across parts of Middle Tennessee or really even up into southern Kentucky either. Current temperatures there in the 70s and 80s for most locations. Some areas still in the lower 80s. 82 in Murfreesboro, same for Lebanon. It's 81 right now in Nashville. And then out west, where we've seen more rain and more cloud cover, we have some of those temperatures in the lower 70s. 73 from Paris on down to Linden. Couple of games that I wanted to highlight. This is the Maplewood at East Nashville game. Temperature should be in the upper 70s around 7 o'clock. And with any of these games, a few quick showers, maybe a thunderstorm will be possible. But like I was just showing you on radar, a lot of areas are dry right now. These are just going to be very scattered showers, a few storms that we get later on tonight. Antioch at Oakland down in Murfreesboro. Temperatures by 7 o'clock, upper 70s, mid 70s for 8 and 9. And again, that rain chance is going to stay the same for that area. I'll show you what the rest of the night is looking like if you have any plans after any of these games and to start out tomorrow morning coming up here in just a little bit.
Thanks so much, Brett. Well, we are just getting started here on Football Frenzy Live. Coming up after the break, we'll check in on that other sideline for our game of the week and break down the game plan for the Maplewood Panthers next.
You're watching Football Frenzy Live! Go
Welcome back to Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. A live look at our game of the week featuring the East Nashville Eagles and the Maplewood Panthers, who you see right there. Maplewood head coach Chris Simpson is in his second year with the Panthers, and while he's helped his alma mater make improvements the last 2 seasons, he'll be the first to tell you they still have a long way to go. Maplewood picked up its first win of the season last week, defeating Spring Hill 19-14 in what Coach Simpson calls a hard-fought, all-around team win. Now, he told his team that's how it's going to be every week for the rest of the season, and that certainly includes their game tonight against the Eagles. Embracing that underdog mentality is something coaches talked about a lot this season, including why one article had the Panthers finishing near the bottom of the Tennessee high school football rankings. Coach Simpson saying that they've used that as motivation ever since the article came out, and his players are determined to prove the city wrong.
That's our mantra for the year. We number 126 out of all the teams in the state. We read the article. So we tell them to the guys, hey, you're the 126th team in the state. That's how they feel about you. So what are you going to do about it? So every day we come out to fight to prove them wrong. Well, not necessarily prove them wrong, prove to us that we can do it ourselves. I said last year we won one game, had a good chance to win the last game in the playoffs, but we're just trying to carry their momentum, keep it going. Got to win early this year, so we're just trying to continue to fight, be better than 126.
Like, when you think about the program, you don't think much of it because, you know, we've been low for so long and, you know, everybody don't believe in us. But when we doing what we did last game and continue to do that, then it's going to make a change and people go think different of us and they're going to be on our side.
Still to come on Football Frenzy Live, our top 17 plays, FFL forecast, and much, much more. Stay with us. The Frenzy's back right after this.
You're watching Football Frenzy Live!
Welcome back to Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust, and we are inching closer and closer to our game of the week, East Nashville Eagles hosting the Maplewood Panthers. Well, it's never easy trying to rank the top teams here in Middle Tennessee, and you definitely need a high school football expert to do it. That's why every week we bring in MTSU football analyst and host of 102.5 The Game, Joe Dubin, to take care of that for us. Joe, week 4, a lot of great matchups. Take it away, my friend.
Hi, Jill. Time for our Fox 17 top 17 as we head into week 4. Now, these picks were made before the games played on Thursday night. So this is all the games heading into week 4. Number 17, the Upperman Bees off to a great start again. Number 16, Marshall County also undefeated. They're always a solid program year in and year out. Number 15, Coach Chad Watson's got something working at Kirkwood High School up in Montgomery County. Kirkwood's only given up 13 points all year long. So well done, Coach Watson. Number 14, Ryan. Yeah, the Father Ryan Fighting Irish. Coach Brian Rector's done a great job again, off to a solid start. Number 13, FRA, also unbeaten. Number 12, East Robertson. Yeah, we're out in the country now. Those boys are playing some good football. They're off to a 3-0 start. Number 11, East Nashville, also unbeaten and off to another great start. All these teams are off to great starts. Number 10, the Green Hill football team. Coach Josh Crouch, that program is so solid, and that defense he has out there is really good. Number 9, a team I've liked all year long, the Beach Buccaneers. They're 2-1, but that's a great program. It's going to make a deep run in the playoffs. Number 8, BGA, off to a great start. One of their best starts they've had in probably 5 years, so good job, BGA. Number 7, CPA, Ingle Martin, one of the best coaches the state's ever seen. That team is off to a good start. Number 6, Innsworth. Coach Tim Hasselbeck, the boys 3-0, rolling over there. Number 5, Antioch, big game on Friday night versus Oakland. Coach Broom's got them off to a 3-0 start. Number 4, a team that I love, the Page Patriots are rolling. As I've said, they might have the best roster in all of Middle Tennessee. Number 3, the Mount Juliet Golden Bears. Coach Trey Perry and that squad just keep on winning. Number 2, Ravenwood. Yeah, Ravenwood's off to another great start. Coach Will Hester has got that team rolling, expecting to make a deep run. And as we do, the number 1 team every week until somebody knocks them off, the Oakland Patriots. Coach Kevin Creasy's squad, they've won 3 of the last 4 state championships in 6A. They take on Antioch tonight. This is probably, for me, the game of the week because 2 squads unbeaten, and they're meeting Friday night down in Murfreesboro. All right, Jill, thank you. That's your Fox 17 Top 17.
All right, time now to check back in on our FFL forecast. Brett Luna joining us to help us break down the night. And Brett, I hope that we'll be able to get in all the football games tonight. I know there's some areas that are worse than others. What do you have for us coming up on the radar for Friday night?
Yeah, Jill, there are some areas that are seeing a little bit more rainfall, even a few pockets of some semi-heavy rainfall right now. Across parts of Middle Tennessee, this is what East Nashville looks like. Not seeing a whole lot, but I think one of our photojournalists is out there at that game. So this is going to be over at East Nashville. Some really cool looking clouds, just a thick blanket of clouds. I'm not seeing any rain right there on that camera. These are just going to be very spotty showers. Thanks a lot, Jason, for getting that shot to us. But that's what it looks like over at East Nashville, and that's what it really looks like across most of Middle Tennessee right now. This is also because of what used to be Hurricane Francine. We're now dealing with the remnants of that, and we have been dealing with it over the past couple of days. These storms have just been moving in. Actually, not a whole lot of thunderstorm activity, only a few lightning strikes today. Most of this has just been regular old rainfall, and we need that rain too. Still seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms though. This is our current radar image. The bulk of the activity is either going to be north of I-40 or west of Interstate 65. I'll zoom in on some of these areas right here. This is going to be kind of near the Nashville area, also over in the parts of Cheatham County, right there around Ashland City, seeing a few showers right there. And then down here in more of our southwestern spots, just north of Waynesboro, still seeing some rain right there. Linden with a little bit of rain, Centerville some rain, Etheridge. The rain near Lawrenceburg has kind of broken up, not seeing as much there right now. And then also up here in our more northeastern areas, parts of Macon County, right there around Lafayette, still seeing just a few spotty showers, but most areas are still pretty dry right now. And these are going to be very quick hitting showers, so if you get the rain, it should be out of your area pretty soon, at least especially with the rain that's developing to the east of Interstate 65. As we go into the next couple hours, we could still see a couple of pockets of showers develop, really not expecting anything too bad. And then for early tomorrow morning, we could still see more rain. I think the best chance for this rain early in the morning is going to be west of Interstate 24, potentially some heavier rainfall down here in more of our southwestern counties. And that's where the National Weather Service does have that flood watch. This is going to stay in effect from now until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. We could maybe get another inch, maybe 2 inches of rain if some of those heavier storms kind of start to train riding along that same line, dropping a good bit of rainfall. So again, flood watch is in effect until 7 a.m. for those areas. A little bit breezy down in Murfreesboro right now, 20-mile-an-hour wind gust recently, 17-mile-an-hour gust recently in Lebanon, and a 19-mile-an-hour gust down there in Tullahoma. Current temperatures, they're in the upper 70s and lower 80s for most locations. Where we're seeing the more rain right now, it is a little bit cooler, lower 70s for a lot of our western areas on that line from Paris down to Lawrenceburg. We're at 81 in Nashville. Same goes for Murfreesboro and Lebanon. For tonight, if you have any plans after the game, these are going to be the overnight low temperatures, pretty close to 70 degrees. A few showers and maybe a couple of thunderstorms will stay possible through the overnight hours tonight, with the best area for seeing that rain chance west of Interstate 24. For tomorrow, off and on rain, that'll stay in the forecast. Temperatures in the upper 70s throughout much of tomorrow afternoon. But then if you have any outdoor plans coming up a little bit later on next week, should be looking really good for those. Tuesday through Friday, we'll we'll get plenty of sunshine. High temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s.
Thanks so much, Brett. Coming up next, we'll take a look at the newest team that's a part of Metro Nashville Public Schools and how the Lawson Lightning is settling into its new home. Stay with us. The Frenzy is back after this. By Wilson Bank and Trust. A live look in at our game of the week at East Nashville, starting up in just a bit. A lot of great programs in the Metro Nashville area, including one program that was just reborn last year. When Hillwood High School closed down, a new high school took its place, James Lawson High School, the newest edition of Metro Nashville Public Schools, and that also includes its brand new football program, the Lawson Lightning. Joining us now on the show, head coach of the Lightning, Brian Lilly. And Coach Lilly, before we get into your big game against Centennial, let's first back it up a little bit. This is only year 2 for you, year 2 of the Lightning. What's been the most exciting part so far about building this program from the ground up?
Yes, ma'am. So when I was hired in February of 2023, I believe, I went over to Hillwood with Dr. Schaefer and Coach Froden, our principal and our athletic director. And my first parent meeting, we had 3 people. My first workout, we had 13 guys. To see the program grow to where we have a whole auditorium full of parents whenever we have our parent meeting, and having 101 guys in the program right now, those are the things I'm the most proud of. To be able to see it. And when we were over there, what people didn't know is we didn't even get to Lawson until August of last year. So it was like the week of the first game, we were finally out here. It was the first week of school. So we were at Hillwood, and it was one of those things, our freshmen, which won the freshman city championship, the Metro Nashville Public Schools city championship last year, those guys got to see where they would have been and got to see kind of where they are so they could appreciate kind of what they have now like those other guys did. And so just a foundation, and we told our guys last year, our seniors, we said, y'all are the founding members of Lawson, right? Y'all are the first class. And what you do last year was going to be what's going to set the tempo for moving forward. So I'm proud of the growth that we've had, going to kind of where it is today, and then I can't wait to see kind of what the future has in store for us.
Even though it's a young program, right away you're thrown into the fire with this tough region, including facing Centennial week 3 of the high school football season, week 4 of the high school football season. When it comes to facing a tough team like Centennial, what are the keys you want to see from your players?
Yeah, I think every day, every time you go out into a game, as cliche as it sounds, the team that tackles well, that team that tackles the best, breaks the most tackles, doesn't turn over the ball, and gets takeaways is the one that's going to win, right? And so at the end of the day, we kind of look at that. It's about tackling. It's about taking the ball over. It's about possessing the ball or taking the ball away. And I think that the great thing is to be able to go into a season with this region that we have, Page, Centennial, Nolensville, Hillsboro, Glencliff, us. Every time we step on the field, it's a big game. And so each week, we got to go out there. And last year, we were both doing well when we came into our game, and so we have to make sure that we come out there and we execute. We go over there to a great environment and to be able to show up and to do what we're supposed to do our job, have a good time while we're doing it, because football is way too hard to not have fun while doing so.
Lawson Lightning, certainly a young program, but also a program that is in the right hands with head coach Brian Lilly. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time to join us on the show. Best of luck against Centennial, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Let's go Lightning.
Both Lawson and Centennial are 2-1 going into tonight, so that should be a pretty good matchup. Take a look at some other games, including Summit at Blackman, undefeated Antioch Bears taking on undefeated Oakland Patriots, Stewart's Creek at Rockville. That's our Friday night rivals game on our sister station, MyTV 30. Springfield taking on Station Camp, Cane Ridge at Hillsboro, Franklin at Independence, Smyrna at Ravenwood. Raptors, by the way, undefeated. Beach at Portland, Father Ryan at Brentwood Academy, CPA at MBA, and Good Pasture at FRA. All right, before we say goodbye, we have to first give a shout out to the people that make Friday night special, those Fox 17 fantastic fans. And this week, we're going to leaders because we know they're bracing for impact tonight. They're bracing for the weather, and they still have smiles on their face. Thanks for joining us on The Frenzy. We'll see you next week.